outer space, in outer space, in outer space, 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 in outer space, in outer space, in outer space.
Alright, welcome to episode 00000018 of the Vast Difference podcast. I'm ThugLife.
And I'm Charity. And today we're going to talk about vocal cords. Ooh.
Very similar. Let me remind the viewers that we don't know what the topics are going to be, and we've made a pact that if someday we randomly pick the exact same topic, that's the end of the podcast forever. So we dodged a bullet there. That was really
We
close.
did, that was.
Okay.
And we both had the same reaction.
All right.
Like that.
Before we get into this action-packed episode of Vast Differences, we need to take a break to pay our bills, namely Bill, my probation officer, and Bill, my bookie.
Oh, God.
So without further ado, an advertisement from our advertiser.
This episode is brought to you by Lego Batman. In the irreverent spirit of fun that made the Lego movie a worldwide phenomenon, Lego Batman now stars in his own big screen adventure. But there are big changes brewing in Gotham. If he wants to save the city from the Joker's hostile takeover, Batman may have to drop the lone vigilante act and maybe, just maybe, learn the true meaning of friendship. Lego Batman on DVD and Blu-ray February 14th. That's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I mean,
So let's watch this romantic movie. I heard there's a Joker in it and a man made of bats.
if Joker and Batman in this movie coming up are going to eat breakfast, I hope one of them doesn't try to have Eggo waffles.
Oh, I'm afraid to ask, but why?
Because Lego my Eggo, and it's Lego Batman.
Oh my God. And the crowd goes silent.
Like in our live show last week, I thought that was funny that anytime I tried to make a joke, it was basically crickets. And anytime you said did you hear at the start where I said, I'm ThugLife, normal clapping, and I'm Charity, and raucous cheering? People freaked out for a full 30 seconds before we could start the podcast.
You know, it's
So-
hard to hear from way up here in the cool clouds. So,
I don't even care. I'm riding your coattails to being a millionaire. So
okay.
people don't like me. Too bad. I'm already in the podcast, suckers.
And you're the tech guy. So without you, there'd be no podcast.
That's true. That's true. All right. So should we get a few good puns out of the way regarding vocal cords and accents before we get into this episode?
I don't have any puns at the moment. I mean, I just woke up. You have had all day to get your brain started and think about things. I just came from a dream. I don't even remember what the dream was, and I'm just a slow starter. So if you have a pun, go ahead. Be my guest.
Well, I don't really have a pun, but something weird happened the other day. I was at a post office, and there was a lumberjack there, and he was sending this, or he had sent a package, but he was coming to ask the postmaster about the status of it. So the lumberjack said, "So what's the status?" And the postmaster came back and said, "Accent." Accent?
Not even. I'm not.
It's really
not.
good.
I'm not. That's assuming that this lumberjack doesn't have a computer and his package tracking number. Coming into a post office to check your package, that's so 90s.
Well, I mean, we're Peru. It's 20 years behind the times.
Oh, that's true, Peru. I forgot you're in Peru. Okay, let's get into our topics because I don't want to groan anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I bet your vocal cords are getting tired from all the groaning.
Yeah, they are. Speaking of vocal cords, here we go. Vocal cords are probably the weirdest part of the human body.
Really? Expound on that.
There are these things that vibrate and produce sound and allow us to speak. Have you ever seen a video of vocal cords in action?
No, I kind of don't want to. It sounds terrifying. I bet it looks like something from Aliens.
Okay, here's another question. Have you ever seen Starship Troopers?
No, it looks terrifying also. Never want to watch that.
Okay, well, for our viewers who have seen Starship Troopers, your vocal cords kind of remind me of the big brain bug after he got his little syringe thing cut off. And it was just like an opening. And when Neil Patrick Harris went up and touched him and was like, "It's afraid," and the way the mouth moved, That's how your vocal cords look. It's like a circle, and these two V-shaped pieces of flesh that vibrate, and there's like a tiny opening for the air to pass through, and it just looks so weird. And I saw a video of a person's vocal cords when they were singing, and when you sing the high notes, your vocal cords get like really tight and stretched out, and they vibrate so fast. And when it was a deep voice, the vocal cords got really relaxed and wide open. And, oh man, it was just disgusting. But it's inside your throat.
And it's weird that something so disgusting can be the source of beautiful poetry, of Shakespearean sonnets, of the song I'm singing right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen those internet videos where dogs are saying very basic words?
No.
There's like maybe 5 different dogs I've seen on internet, and they're able to say 1 or 2 words that they've been trained to. In the millions and millions and millions of dogs exist, just by random evolutionary chance, some of them are born with like just a genetic anomaly where they've got a little bit more advanced vocal cords or something like that. So normally it would just disappear really quick. That dog has a baby with a normal dog and then nothing happens. But now that the internet exists and YouTube makes it possible for these like 10 dogs that exist on Earth that can kind of talk to know each other, they should get those dogs together and breed them and make a new race of talking dogs.
You don't even know. What if these dogs aren't even attracted to other dogs that can speak? What if they want to be the big dog on campus? And they're like, you can speak. I don't want to mate with
They're
you.
attracted to parrots or something because they can speak better.
Parrots? What? No, you went totally the opposite
Parrots have really advanced vocal
direction
cords.
that I went. Like, you are so not even in the same city.
What's the opposite of a parrot?
A singlet. A parrot. A single.
I guess. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I am in the opposite direction. That's why we're called Vast Differences Podcast.
Yeah.
Speaking of language and stuff, it's kind of crazy to think, as I've traveled from one country to another, speaking in Spanish, speaking in English, speaking in Korean, speaking in Japanese, it's so interesting to me that these languages developed independently of each other, but over the course of thousands of years, we can all express the exact same concepts. Like there's very complicated concepts like love or imagination or freedom and things like that. And another interesting thing is that Google Translate is super, super racist. Do you want to hear this?
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, I'll say Charity is #1 podcaster. And then if you tell Google to say that in Japanese,
チャリティーズナンバー1ポッドカスター
it just sounds like a person doing a racist impersonation of a Japanese person, right?
No, it doesn't. It sounds like a Japanese person trying to pronounce all these English words, but still like trying to translate it to Japanese.
イングリッシュイズハード Google is racist.
What is that?
It said Google is racist. Google es racist.
Wow. Japanese has a lot more syllables than Korean. Korean, they have a better way of translating words into Korean that were English words, like new words, like computer. They just say computer.
Computer.
They drop the R.
Oh, nice.
But then they have some things that they have that are English words, and we call them Konglish, that sound like they're English words, but they have completely different meaning. For example, instead of a coat, they say padding. And so my students will come and say, oh, teacher, I have a new padding. And I'm like, inside your mattress? It was so confusing, but they mean coat. And so sometimes you'll try to get Korean to translate English words, but it'll get mixed up in the process.
That's interesting. Speaking of languages, it's also interesting how the same language develops over time in different geographical locations. Like Mexican Spanish is quite different from Peruvian Spanish. And there was a couple times when I was really confused when I came down here. The word for bye in Lima is the word for cancel in Mexico. So whenever I had something I wanted to purchase, somebody would ask me, so are you going to cancel that? And I said, no, I want it. And they're like, you can go cancel it over there. I'm like, I don't want to cancel it. I want to buy it. I like this thing. Please let me have it. And I go over there and they'd ask me, are you here to cancel? And I said, no, I want to buy it. Why does everybody want me to cancel it? And it turns out cancelar es la palabra por comprar.
Really? That's so weird.
Maybe the origin was like that you're canceling out your debt. I think that's what it comes
Or
from.
canceling the money you have.
Yeah, basically. That's a funny way to think of it.
I have $1.
I'm not,
Cancel.
I'm not buying something. I'm canceling my dollar.
That's so strange. Yeah, when I was in Argentina, I realized they have some words that are like totally different. And of course, they have the different accent also. We know that the double L in Spanish is pronounced with a y sound, a y sound. But in Argentina, it's pronounced with a j. So instead of like playa for beach, they would say playa.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of saying me llamo Charity, say me llamo Charity. And so it was a little difficult trying to remember where the places where all the L's, double L's, and all the Y's were. But America is also a prime example of languages that change across geographical locations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was online recently and I found out that people in New York, like, instead of saying I was standing in a line at the grocery store, they have started saying I was standing online at the grocery store.
Online? That's ridiculous.
You don't stand on a line. You stand in a line. Online is what you do when you're on the internet, on a computer, or on your phone, or on a tablet, or
I guess
whatever.
it's kind of appropriate, though. There's that new Amazon store where you just walk in, you take the stuff, and the cameras track what you took, and then it charges your account. Recently, it's been so popular to go there that there's a line to get in. So you're going into the Amazon store. It's kind of like you're standing online.
No, not even. Not even there. Don't try to give these New Yorkers justice, okay?
That is a good point that people speak differently, though. There's Cajuns in places like Louisiana and Florida and other embarrassing parts of the country that barely speak English. Like, you listen to them and you can catch a couple of words and maybe catch the gist of what they're talking about, Gatorade and NASCAR and stuff. But
Mountain Dew.
I mean, or in Oklahoma also. My grandpa had all these words that he would use. He would say used to could, fixin' to.
We had Fixin' Two in Arkansas.
Mike Neert. Did we already talk about this?
Yeah, we did. Our first or second episode.
Oh, wow. Throwback.
Throwback. This is our anniversary episode. 18 because it's 2018.
Vast difference has now became an adult.
We're legal.
They can buy tobacco now, I guess.
But we can't drink.
What's up with smoking? Have you ever smoked
No.
before?
No.
Me neither.
I have asthma, so I can't really partake in these. Not that I would really want to. But anyway, one other thing I wanted to say about vocal cords is that when you go to sleep, they somehow die. And when you wake up, they're trying to like arise like a phoenix from the ashes.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll wake up and if I'm here by myself, I have no one to talk to. And so I don't speak. But then I'll randomly burst into song. And that first note I sing scares the crap out of me because it sounds like a frog.
Like Barry White.
And I'm like, you're not even awake yet, boys. Like, what gives? So, and that's how my voice is a little bit right now, but it's less croaky.
Let's hear it. What's the lowest note that you can make? Start medium and then go,
I don't know. It's gonna be a little bit embarrassing next to you because you have like this rich, deep baritone voice.
But then we're going to go who can do the highest too, so.
Oh no, I don't want to break eardrums because apparently my friends are like, your voice is so high. And I'm like, no, my voice is deep. And they're like, ha 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 ha, that's the dumbest thing you've ever said. So.
Okay, ready? Okay, you start.
I already started.
You're so low that it's not even perceptible by human ear?
Exactly. Like, I'm telling you, it's really
That would be
weird.
like, there's some dogs freaking out outside of my apartment right now.
Oh my God.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
that would only be for a high note.
Speaking of low notes, did you know that there is like a thing that people do where they get these giant speakers and then play bass notes and it gets them like a little high because the sound waves are so deep and spread apart and as it goes through their body, it like, I don't know what it does. But someone also died that way. He played the bass notes too loud, too low, that the waves moving through his body caused like ruptures in his organs and in his blood vessels. And he died. Can you believe that?
Awful. Yeah, I can believe it because one time at a Tool concert, the music sounded so loud and the bass was so intense that it was making my organs hurt. And I said, I'm never coming back to a rock concert like this again. And I love listening to Tool in awesome headphones, but having sound assault my body is not what I wanted. And so poor guy, yeah, he took it to the extreme.
I really enjoyed our topics today. It was so cool that we chose similar things. Accents and vocal cords are things that I can talk about for a whole other hour. But for the sake of, what's the word I'm looking for? what's the word I'm looking for? Uh,